Hi, folks. I finally got back on here after some eye surgery yesterday. Everything's going well, but still a little scratchiness in my left eye there. But I prepared a nice long stream for you. A lot to talk about coming up here as we got a long Labor Day weekend ahead and a changeable weather pattern. All right, so tower cam views Alexandria, seeing a partly cloudy sky there. A lot of that is high level cloudiness, but some cumulus floating around as well. You never know what you'll catch on the tower cams going into St. Landry Parish. So we'll see a little bit more cloudiness, and that cloudiness looks to be a little bit lower in that direction. And our final destination there is in Gina, LaSalle Parish. Hello to all you folks there. And we see a partly to mostly cloudy sky in that direction. So far today, most of the weather's been to the north of us. So if you need rain, well, it's coming. And it's going to pick the long Labor Day weekend to do so. A few strong severe storms are possible. I'll outline some details for you and a tropical update. Can't forget that, except the most active weather will be locally. You can see it's on its way with radar, rain and storms, the areas to the north of us there. You see it's just kind of all sliding to the southeast. And we see a little bit of hit and miss stuff here for today. But again, the main show is up to the north of us. So let's get into the details as to what might happen to us. On a larger scale, you can see it gathering all the way up to the north. And you can see, again, steadily and surely, it is heading southeastward along this kind of a warm frontal boundary. There's a little surface low here, and there's little pieces of energy that work in from the northwest overhead, which kind of lift the atmosphere. So we've got moisture in place. The upper level storm track is blowing from from northwest to southeast. And once again, and about the 10 to 20,000 foot level, little disturbances will just kind of ripple through this flow. And once they do, they find a reservoir of instability here, like warm, humid conditions like we've had. It kicks loose and rain and storms develop. And that is what is in the forecast. And so we're going to start off with, first of all, a little bit of information on the flash flood risk in this situation. This is through Friday morning. Our first round, I think this is going to manifest or show up in 3 rounds. Basically, the first one will be tonight and early in the morning, where we see storms affect our northern parishes there, with the potential for locally heavy rainfall. Okay, now the next one is during the day tomorrow. Once that first system tonight and early in the morning passes through, things will stabilize temporarily. But when the sun comes up, it'll get hot again or warm again, but it'll get unstable enough to kick loose other showers and thunderstorms because there'll be some residual outflow boundaries from the previous system left over. So the short answer to that is another round possible on Friday, and then the second one will continue into Saturday morning. There could actually be some new development in this particular area Saturday morning early. All right, so that adds up to 3 rounds of showers and thunderstorms. So I have to address each one of those, and that's the way it looks graphically. Okay, looking at the futurecast, by tonight, bedtime for many folks, around 10 o'clock. For your late folks, go to bed like me. I'll be up watching that stuff. But this model bringing in the first round of showers and thunderstorms into central Louisiana. Some of those storms could be strong to possibly severe, but it will be weakening, I think, overall as it comes into the area. Then you see by Friday morning, there's a big uptick in the action. There's rain storms to the south of us and another band up to the north. And then all that just kind of works through the area, does its thing on Friday. And the good news is through Friday evening football games, things are looking decent or better as far as the widespread rain, but the fields will be wet because of the previous rain that happened. Right, and then once we go into Saturday morning, you see rain and storms once again kind of gathering south of the Leesville, Alexandria, and Jonesville line there. Again, and I got kind of marked that as number 3 situation. So that's kind of a roundup of the timing of these showers and thunderstorms that are coming through the area. And let's go to the more information in the rainfall pattern through Saturday morning. I just kind of grouped all these 3 rounds into one event for this graphic. So everybody's going to get rain. I think you don't get. I don't think anybody gets left out of this one. So 100% on the coverage. Common amounts will be about 1 to 3 inches, Peak amounts about 4 to 6 inches, so this will be a substantial event. There will be some high rainfall rates. There will be some areas that will get that 1 to 3 inches in some locations in an hour, or maybe even less in some cases. And of course, you know what that does? That will prompt the flood threat in the usual suspect places. And that peak amount of 4 to 6 inches will get some of the smaller river systems like the Calcasieu and some of those maybe get it back close to flood, if not in a mild flood or a weak flood there. All right, so severe weather outlook. Here's the severe dimension. There will be a little severe potential tonight with the round 1 across Sabine, Natchitoches, and Wynn parishes, maybe northern LaSalle parish there. So that system, I think, will be weakening some, but once it comes into our area in the Friday through Saturday time frame, the severe potential will shift to the western parishes there and into the central parishes. Some of our northeastern parishes, LaSalle, Catahoula, Concordia, may get away with the least threat with this. But this is only a marginal threat, level 1 on a 5 category level threat thing, categorization scheme. All right, so severe threats. Notice all the bars are low. That's a good thing, but flooding will account for most of the overall threat. Second thing will be wind. Some of these storms that produce these high rainfall rates, they will be capable of producing some strong wind, and we could see some warnings out of this deal. Hail, can't completely rule it out. If we get hail, for the most part, it's going to be below severe levels, which means it will stay smaller than a quarter, and tornado risk is less than 2%, so usually we just don't mention that. So 3 rounds expected through Saturday morning. I kind of outlined that earlier as to when to expect that. Tonight, Friday, and Saturday morning. Threat level is marginal in this 1 out of 5 category. Risk levels up to 5% with the wind, but hail and tornadoes less than 2%. And monitor your weather sources. Make sure you have at least two sources for warnings through this time period. All right, so let's shift into the tropics. We're right in the middle of tropical season, heading into September, which is the most active month of the year. 20% on a little wave in the far eastern Atlantic. We'll keep an eye on it, but nothing happening for us out of that right now. So here's a 7-day forecast then, a 90% for tomorrow and an 80% Saturday morning. That's kind of why I grouped that all into 100%. So everybody's going to get wet. Those are just percentages that I try to attach to the day. So notice temperature is much lower. Some areas will struggle to reach 80 degrees. I don't think they will. I think some readings will stay in the 70s for Friday's highs. And then going into Saturday, maybe the middle 80s. And then going into Sunday, Monday, just a very slow warming trend. Minimum temperature stay not bad there, 67 to 69 degrees. Labor Day forecast. Notice how the rain chances start decreasing there Sunday into Monday. And so that's good news for your Labor Day plans. You've gotten enough rain, I think, Friday, Saturday to satisfy what you need maybe. And then Tuesday through Thursday looked like a period as we'll get pretty seasonable temperatures there, about 66, 67 for lows and highs about 90 to 92 during that time frame after Labor Day. So, yep, the rain comes before and during the Labor Day weekend. Afterwards, things look better. All right. Thanks for being with me, and thank you for all your prayers and support for my cataract surgery and for Cenla Weather. Hope you have a fantastic Friday.